I think the important thing with anything that you do in life is to realize that you don't have to be perfect all the time. And the goal is not to maintain, a strict diet or a strict workout regimen or whatever for your whole life. But to realize that there are ebbs and flows. And the longer that I have lived, the less that I am upset with myself when I realize that there's these ebbs and flows. So there's just a lot of life that always happens, right? So you will, for 4 months, it'll seem like you'll have everything together and things will be going just fine. And then all of a sudden things will fall apart. And then you'll have a couple of weeks that are just not working out, right? Like whatever it is, if it's a diet or, workout regime, if it's getting your work done, you'll just have a couple of bad weeks. And the goal is to realize that is just part of the process. And as you get used to that, the sort of ebbs and flows, right, of always, getting good at doing something and then not so good, I think that's the gift that you have to learn. That there is always these ebbs and flows. And then you have to learn when things are not going your way, that it's okay to allow it to not go your way. And then it's also, okay to get back into it and ease your way back into it. I think that's like a super important thing to realize, that not everything has to be maximized. So this has always been a struggle with me, sort of thinking about, as an engineer, I think about maximizing my life in all kind of areas. I've always been like that. I remember thinking about that in like high school. Sort of thinking about how do you maximize different aspects of your life so you can sort of create perfection, I guess. But what I've learned is that is just unobtainable. And you have to sort of balance everything together. And as you balance all this stuff together, sometimes there's moments where aspects of your life just don't do as well as others. Good morning. And you got to be okay with that, right? Like some mornings, you got to realize that you're not going to have, you might not work out for a couple of days because you get sick, for example. Or, you have a birthday party that you have to go to, and then you eat some cake and some, a slice of pizza. It's not that, you can't get upset with doing that. Because that's all the little subtle things that are important. That's what life is really about, is those little tiny things. And the older I get, the more I realize how important those little things are, and less guilty I feel about them. So, my point is that don't be upset about maximizing everything about your life. It's pretty unobtainable. It's very difficult to do. And the reason is that life is not maximized, right? Like that's not the end goal. It's such a strange way to think about things, because there are many different objectives to what we actually do. Right? We don't just have one thing or three things that we're trying to maximize, but many, many, many different objectives that you're trying to think about. And when that happens, there's not a right way ever. So, what I'm talking about is just give yourself plenty of leeway to just live a healthy life in all areas of your life. But a healthy life does not mean it's strictly abiding by a strict diet or whatever, but just allowing the ebbs and flows of life to actually occur. And I think that is much more of a healthy life than strictly abiding by, I'm going to work for 4 weeks straight or 2 years straight, but I'm going to like all of that stuff just is physically not possible. And so you just have to be okay with just living a healthy life. And I think that's where I'm going to stop. Is just try to live a healthy life a healthy life means going with the ebbs and flows in terms of what presents to you. And so if you don't get a workout in the morning, well, then just go for a walk in the afternoon. And then try to just do that kind of stuff where you're just doing okay and working with the ebbs and flows of life. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.